Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson, and today we're coming to you from the Beaufort City Hall Council Chambers.
And I am your host, Annalisa Itkor. We're welcoming three very interesting guests today. First up, we have Beaufort Fire Chief Reece Bertholf.
And our next guest is the very own Mayor of Beaufort, Billy Kaiserling.
And last but certainly not least, we have Danita Brown. She is the acting superintendent for the Restoration Era National Monument.
So stick around and join us for this episode of 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to another episode of 843 TV. Today we are at the Beaufort City Hall, and joining us we have Beaufort Mayor Billy Kaiserling as well as Chief Reece Bertholf, the fire chief here. My first direction is for you, because I understand that there is a new fire station being built on Robert Smalls Parkway. Tell us a little bit about it.
We're very excited to be entering into a private-public partnership in order to provide fire service in the Robert Smalls Parkway near the Castle Rock intersection. This will be the keystone to fire service for the municipalities of Beaufort and Port Royal in that area, and an area that's been targeted for high probability for intensive growth over the next few years. We've already seen that in some residential properties in that area, and there is a lot of chatter about commercial development in that corridor, and good public infrastructure will shore up the opportunities for that development to occur, and we're really excited to be a part of that.
In a sense, you're getting ahead of the curve.
Well, ideally, that's where we try to stay.
That's smart. Very smart.
Absolutely. You mentioned public and private. Could you explain what that means?
Certainly. The municipalities got together and through a lot of discussion, a lot of analysis, and a lot of thoughtful input decided to join forces with a private developer, and we leased the fire station, and they're going to build to suit lease us a fire station for 30 years.
Oh, wow. And what is the time frame that you're looking at for this project?
Well, this project is actually already kicked off. It's in the final stages of permitting, and the fire station is going to open temporarily in a neighbor building on January 1st. So we're going to start providing the service on January 1st, and we'll be right there watching the construction process of the new fire station occur.
It's coming up fast.
It is coming up fast.
Now, we've heard the reasons for the fire department planning to build in this area. Mayor Billy, what were the thoughts in your department in terms of adding a fire station into this area?
Chief told us to do it. Whatever we do with fire and police and public safety is always what's best for the people. And as Port Royal and Beaufort grow to meet each other on the western side, it just became clear that we have a growing number of residents and businesses, and that, as you said, to get ahead of the curve and be there to meet them makes it easier for them. It helps with their insurance. Any number of ways it's very business friendly to those growing out there. So, you know, for once we are planning and actually are ahead of the curve. So often we come up with these great plans and then they drag out. The chief's leadership with the town of Port Royal and the city manager of Beaufort have really got us out front, and we're delighted.
I have to say, when I was driving out here today, I was definitely struck by the amount of development that's going on, the improvements that you're making to the streets here in Beaufort. And Lisa and I have certainly experienced the growth of schools out here in the Beaufort area. So it does seem that there is quite a boom going on here.
There's a controlled boom.
Those are the best kind of booms to have.
It's not going to get out of hand, I promise.
Yeah. Been a lot of nice enhancements. Now, the Beaufort Port Royal Fire Department, I understand, has won and been recognized for a significant state award. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Well, actually, that award's not necessarily an award. It's a recognition of the service that we provide, and it's a nationwide recognition. It's provided by the Insurance Services Office, so it's called ISO class, and that's a way to normalize the service throughout the United States that fire services provide. And what they do is they come in and evaluate 3 key areas of your public infrastructure and the ability to respond to fire emergencies. They evaluate your fire department, your communications section of your county, however that happens wherever you live, and also your water capacity. And they identified that the City of Beaufort Town of Port Royal Fire Department was awarded the highest class possible, which is Class 1. And one of the things that this fire station will do on the Highway 170 corridor at the intersection of Castle Rock Road is that any properties in the municipalities of Beaufort and Port Royal that are within 5 miles of that fire station will be eligible for the ISO Class 1. What the insurance companies do is they rate the fire departments, and then they take each individual property within those 5 miles and provide a risk analysis, and that ISO rating is part of that risk analysis for each individual property, which correlates to potentially lower insurance rates.
Yeah.
Now, with the addition of this new firehouse, is there going to be an increased need for firefighters and equipment?
Well, we did heavy analysis to figure out what it was going to take to open
I
up a
bet you
fire
have to.
station out there. But yes, we did realize that we're going to have to add about 15 full-time firefighters. We had a 2-pronged plan going into this, and last month we were awarded a Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response grant called SAFER from FEMA. And so that grant is going to underwrite our personnel costs for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And actually provide a savings over what the plan was and provide more people had we not been awarded that grant. So things have really fell together nicely for the fire station.
But don't leave out the fact that we have been paying for that coverage that we will now be providing. So it's not like we're adding 15 people automatically or the costs of a new fire station. Most of it will, over time, it will pay for itself in terms of not having to subcontract with our partners out there. So the net is very small given the gain, not only in terms of the quality of service, but the potential insurance savings of the customers.
Been multiple public presentations on just the mayor's point, and myself and the experts that worked with me to figure this out were given a finite set of dollars, and it was the sum of the dollars that the 2 municipalities used for contract services in that area. And they said, can we do it for those amount of dollars, forecasted out reasonably with inflation and rising costs for a number of years? And we said yes, we found a way to do it. And with the awarding of the SAFER grant, we actually came in under budget.
Wonderful. Well, Chief, thank you for sharing about this very important addition coming to Beaufort along with everything else. And you all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV.